Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Brother Kendall, how do you solar lampol make this look? I can't manila for a solar enterprise. For the Mungul and Yimbanko can get them to it.
Sumanu Baro, Unjurunko, Ikonga Faleko, Namu Badabanta, Bila Blazola, and Yagambia Vino, Amira Solar Enter, Nasola Enterprise. Solar Nimbati can do, Kuran, Deda Sala, Aboros in Enamo, Kagis and Odila, Amira Solar Enter, Nasola Enter, Nasola Enterprise. Ah, Jaliwo, Solar can desato, Jaliman Fofina, O Solar can desato. Na enterprise, Sumanu Baro, Unjurunko.
Jibril Jassi. I work with West Coast Radio.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Jassi. We have seen the past 2 years, you were part of the organizers who tend to organize this media run. You can tell our medium what motivates you guys to initiate this great platform.
Now, the answer is very simple. We wanted to make the media practitioners very active. But if you realize that, our job is only to sit in one place, write stories, or go and make interview and record and come and play. So we have become very lazy. So I realize that, media practitioners need to be very active so that we can be healthy. And because healthy body make you very, very healthy. When you are healthy, you can be able to do proper job. So that motivated all this idea to come up. It was me and Sam Mendy, the master of Majak, So he was making run on his own. I was also training on my own. Then we started, look, why don't we come together? We run together. So at first it was a joke, Then we proposed places, The idea was to start from Bulls to be turntable to traffic light here. So we have been promoting on Facebook, social media. Then other members also come on board. People like Big Sam and others, they all join us. It was almost 10 to 11 of us who started the run. So from that, we started to let it be doing on a monthly basis. So now it become bigger. And then we want it to be bigger than us now. Now, thank God, the young ones are taking over the initiative. So the idea is all about that one, to keep media people active, know each other, we form a family, the idea is all about that one, yes.
So what do you have to tell the young ones outside there who are not ready to join this media run, because most of them think that this media run is just a waste of time? What do you have to tell?
No. Let the young ones embrace this. It will make them very active, know each other, you form a relationship. Because you work at Fatou, other people working at GRTS, other guy work at Paradise FM. You don't know each other. You only meet at the event and then make your report and disappear. But this media run, you can make fun, you make relationship, you exchange ideas, work relationship become bigger. And then, it also gives you healthy body. Because look at running from Westfield to here, you are sweating. You remove the calorie from your body. So let the young ones to embrace this event and make it as theirs.
I actually had a lot of people that have been challenging me from school a long time. And of course, Sangmendi is just on my nerves. Literally every time there's a post, oh, your friends are doing it, why can't you do it? You can do it. I'm like, okay. So I actually did not tell him, Sang, I accept your challenge. I just kept quiet because apparently my first time, the first time I actually joined them, I think was the day they had the picnic at the beach. So when I was coming, they already left. So I actually had to walk alone. I walked from post office to traffic lights, and I had a rescue, and I was taken back to the beach by a car. And imagine today I actually ran all by myself, and at some point I started walking, but then I was able to continue. So I think it was not a bad one. Yeah. So what I'm going to tell them is what I told myself this morning. I am going there not because I can run, but because I actually want to sweat. I want to burn some calories, and I actually want to network with people I've not met, because we're all in the media, but we hardly see each other, we hardly interact, especially if you're people like me, you're most of the time behind the scene, you don't get to meet with a lot of people. So that was why I said, you know what, I'm going out, but on one condition. This time I'm not going to walk, I'm going to run, and I did. And this time I'm definitely going to finish it without Usman getting me a taxi, which I did. And of course, I am also going to meet new friends, and I've burnt a lot of calories. And I think I'm taking it upon myself, like I said. Even if I can't join the big crowd, I always do something small in my own corner. That is just one thing I'm saying, and I'm telling everybody out there. If you're my type, that you are the Chawi type, I tell you, you need to work out all the time.
Thank you very much. To begin with, this is the second anniversary, as you know, and we have been doing this for a long time. I have been one of the regulars. I've been coming over the course of the period, and I think it is very important to come and join such an initiative, because as media workers, we're always very busy, and this is an opportunity for us to burn calories, stay fit, and be able to do our job properly. It is also an opportunity to come and meet both old and new friends, so it is always important for me to come over, be part of it, see my friends that I've not seen for a while, and meet new ones as well.
So what will you tell to your fellow sport journalists who are not ready to join this media run challenge, because to them it is a waste to them? What piece of advice do you have for them?
Yeah, I think this is a win-win solution for anybody who joins, because whenever you come, you're going to run, sweat, burn calories, and you're going to stay healthy. So I'll call on all of them to come and join the run. be part of it because this is like one big family. The Gambian media fraternity is not very huge. So when you come, you get to meet new people, meet old ones, network among yourselves. It's an opportunity to be together. So I'll call on them to be part of this and support this initiative and make sure we make it a success.
Media Run Challenge basically it's set up to unite media personnel, that is who people who are working in the media, to bring them together as one family, when good people, because this is something that is meant to keep our bodies fit. Because if you imagine our work is so hectic, imagine sitting at the newsroom for a whole day. I mean, even though we go out to fetch stories, but it wouldn't be equivalent to running and exercise your body. So we thought, why not we organize this Media Run Challenge? I mean, to bring together media workers so that we will get the opportunity to meet with old friends and senior journalists that we've seen on TVs. It started with few individuals, but alhamdulillah, as time goes on, we've seen people coming on board to participate in the media run, which is very, very encouraging. Yes, definitely, it has not been easy. It has not been easy because imagine writing letters, I mean, visiting office to drop letters, trying to find out fundraising, going to media houses. It has not been easy, but alhamdulillah, hanga teamwork, it's something that is encouraging. So with the support of our fellow members, Amadou, Oba, Jawo, we've able to overcome this, because I could remember we went to several media houses, including GRTS Paradise, to have an interview with them to enlighten people and tell them what this Media Run Challenge is all about, and of course the anniversary, which is today. So it has not been easy, but alhamdulillah, we are able to overcome the challenges.
I could remember 2 years back, while browsing on Facebook, I saw some challenging me, because I'm normally on training and running from Lamin to airport, and normally I just want to keep myself fit. So once I was browsing, I just saw he challenged me, so I challenged other colleagues. But it was unfortunate that so many media practitioners didn't come. What motivated me is it's our own thing, and I feel proud being among colleagues to embrace what belongs to us. This media round belongs to every media practitioners. Once you're working within the media fraternity, I expect you to see yourself in this noble call. It was something that I cherish, and I love doing it from day one, and each time they call, I normally comes out. If I am absent, it's probably I'm on national duty. The last one I could remember, I was in Guinea-Bissau on coverage, so I could not make it up. But once God gives me the grace and the opportunity to be here, I'm always present and participate fully, and I want people to come out. What we're doing here is to prepare colleagues, because my fitness levels and other people's fitness level is quite different. So we start preparing people from day one up to today, because we're looking ahead of something that we want to do in December, whereby we want to make it a national thing, a national media run, whereby media practitioners will be coming out every year to participate and win our prizes. So we grooming people, we're preparing people for the December run, whereby editors, MDs, proprietors will have their own kilometers to run. And young reporters, senior reporters will also have their own categories. So if you start training from today, running together with colleagues, before December, you'll know your fitness level. You'll be able to know that if I run with Mustafa on the editors category, I'll be able to defeat him, or Ramatulai on the senior reporters category, I'll be able to defeat him. So that's why we're doing this, and I want each and everyone to look at this and make sure that we see ourselves in this noble call. This media run belongs to us. Nobody will come outside to come and embrace this or try to do this for us. We who are in this media should do it for ourselves. The challenge is very limited, because in whatever you do, you must have to face challenges, and then you have to thank God, because in whatever you do and you don't face challenges, meaning what you're doing is not going into the right direction. But once you face challenges, those are obstacles that you need to fight and overcome them. So we're still trying to bring in people and make them understand that this belongs to them. So that's one of the challenges. Two, we're trying to see how we can bring in companies to come and take up this before December, so that at least they can say, MD's category, I'll be responsible, or I'll be sponsoring that category. Senior reporters, I'll be responsible. So we're working on that. We're trying to approach companies. So once that is done, we're good to go before December.
So basically, this is I've been challenged so long, many times by many people, students at Majak and other colleagues in other media houses, equivalent to me as editors, have challenged me on the need to come and showcase my talent at the media run. That is my strength, that I do not only edit at office, but I also have some energy to participate in running. I also keep my health stable. That's precisely why I'm here. As Kerr Fatou, we do not only provide coverage to events, but we also participate in issues like this to ensure that we come to terms or at the same level with other media in the country.
So can you tell us who are you challenging for the next media run?
For the next media run, I am challenging the CEO of Leral Gambia Media, that's Molamin Diouf, formerly Taranga FM. I want Molamin to be here. I am challenging him to be side by side Mustafa in the next media round challenge. We've seen Sheikh here, we've seen a lot of people, but I've not seen Molamin. So this is a challenge to you, Molamin. Come here, next media round challenge. We see what you can do. It is not about competition. It is about keeping ourselves healthy and also socialize, network. Because if you check, if you observe the nature of the media work, it's not easy. You hardly socialize when you're at work. You and I are in the same newsroom. We go for hours without talking to each other because we are all engaged on our personal stories to ensure that we bring it out on deadline. So it's important for us to come here as media personnel in different media outlets in this country to socialize. When we socialize, we network, and we also keep our health stable, because it is recommended by the WHO that everybody should do a mile exercise of 150 minutes, right? And a rigorous one of 70 minutes per week. So if you are not doing that, so therefore it is duty, or it is better for you to come here at least once every week to ensure that you burn your calories and keep your health stable.
I wish to welcome you all here. But first of all, I would want to thank the organizers, the gallant organizers. They have indeed shown a sense of responsibility to make this event successful. I think they deserve a round of applause. Please clap for them. A research was commissioned by the Gambia Press Union indicating that up to 40% of young journalists are underskilled, and more than 50% of them are underpaid and overworked. Majority of young women and rural journalists are stagnant because their skills to compete are very limited. This affects their ability to hold the governors accountable for their words, actions and inactions. Some are passionate about journalism but do not have the financial muscle to pursue any professional training. The few that gain admission at Majak and at the University of the Gambia struggle to pay their tuitions. This is because they are not financially supported. This prompted the senior media practitioners to set up a campaign to raise funds to support media development in the Gambia. The campaign is called the Media Run Challenge. The challenge is aimed at empowering women, young and provincial journalists. It is specifically targeting underprivileged and underemployed young women and provincial journalists who do not meet academic and or professional entry requirement for capacity and professional development, and those in those schools, those journalism schools. This capacity building also is key in our field as journalists, and without it, we will never develop. The capacity building, obviously, is geared towards helping the journalists to be developed and also try to exercise their duties as journalists in holding government accountable to the people. This is why this initiative was established, to become a platform where funds will be generated to support these media workers who are vulnerable, who have the passion but lacks the requisite financial support to build their capacity.
Please, let's promote the culture of working. It is dying in this country. And that is why a lot of us are dying. Yes. Non-communicable diseases are manageable. They are not curable. And the only way you can definitely reduce them or prevent them is through exercise, physical activity. Don't wait until it is late. The gym cannot solve your problem. You need to solve your problem. So many people have registered in gyms, they've never actually gone to do any exercise. They've not, and they've wasted resources. You go to the hospital, you complain about lack of drugs. Who told you to fall ill? Malaria is preventable if you take care of your environment. Otherwise, the mosquitoes will become your neighbors. So yes, so please, there are a lot of things we can do to avoid some of the diseases that you and I contract. Obesity. Obesity is not good health. Some of us eat for weight instead of health. Please, take fruits, take vegetables. They are better for you than the burgers, the chickens, and the oil, and so on. So lifestyle matters a lot. But I'm not here to preach, and I'm not here to give you health tips. The people who are here will do all that. Today we are celebrating children, and I want to call upon 2 children in our midst who came from Westfield with us, right here to traffic light. Mohammed Sise, can you please come out? Mohammed Sise and his brother, Sheikh Omar Sise, can you please come? If you are not inspired by us, you should be inspired by them. Hello? Come here, my men, come. Yes, I call them men because góor lañ, ah? Góor dangay góorgóorlu, ndega? So dangay dégg. That is Sheikh Omar Sise. He is 9 years old. Well, he wants to be 10. Instead of him reducing his age, he's adding it. And we have so many people here who have reduced their ages when they should have retired. Honorable, help us. We don't want age cheating. And Mohammed Sise, he is 6 years old. Mohammed, do you want to be 7? Thank you. He wants to be 6. So please clap for these 2 children who should be our inspiration henceforth. They did it from Westfield to traffic light. How many kilometers? 3 kilometers. So please, I urge you from today, stop taking taxis on a 3-kilometer walk or a 3-kilometer journey. Stop it. It won't help you. 3 kilometers is just 30 minutes at most. So please, and don't only come as ceremonial workers. We don't need anniversary workers. Every year you just come once. No. Do it daily, and if need be, join others weekly. If you want, Walk for Health is at the stadium, or you can come to the Media Run Challenge fortnightly. You should always do something.
So let me say why it's so important for us to be here today as UNICEF. This is a precursor step, a preliminary step towards celebrating the Day of the African Child next Thursday, the 16th of June. Everybody knows the historical importance of that particular date. I won't go into that at the moment. But here, what I'm seeing, why it was so important for us to take the decision to be here today with you and to support you financially, as well as through our presence here, a couple of things. Number one, the role of the media and different bodies of the media, the Ministry of Information and Communication, the Gambia Press Union, and so on and so forth, is because the Convention on the Rights of the Child specifically includes roles and responsibilities of communicators, including traditional communicators, media houses, newspapers, etc., to play a role as a duty bearer, fulfilling, promoting, and protecting the rights of children. So your presence here is one example of what we're doing there. Number two, partnerships. I was really quite pleased to hear the diverse range of partnerships who are here today. You have the government, you have the private sector, you have communicators, you have civil society, Child Fund, the Child Protection Alliance, and this is particularly important. And the third issue is because we're talking about something which so far in the speeches we haven't touched upon. So what you have been doing today is not only demonstrating that physical activity is an important manifestation of a communication, but you're also here to draw attention to traditional harmful practices against children. And I want to talk a little bit about this because the fundamental traditional harmful practices against children in the Gambia, if not the majority of West African countries, is female genital mutilation and child marriage. Now, I've heard some of you talk about traditional harmful practices, including violence against children. Let me just make a distinction. Violence against children is not a traditional harmful practice. Violence against children is simply the decision the duty bearers have taken that the child does not have the right to live a life free of violence. And that is different from traditional harmful practices which say society and our culture believe in certain practices, be they founded on religion, be they founded on culture, be they founded on tradition, that need to happen as a part of a child's development. So I'm making these distinctions because they need to be addressed through different channels of intervention and different channels of programmatic support and policy making. So when we talk about female genital mutilation, you know the data. Close to 8 out of every 10 girls in the country ages 15 to 19 were subject to the practice when they were below the age of 5 and when they were between the ages of 5 and 9. Now, I ask you, what is the principal characteristic of a child under the age of 5 years? It's that he or she was not given the opportunity to say, I want that, or I do not want it, even though the child has a right to a voice. So this is a practice where essentially adults are saying the child will be subjected to the practice even though the child does not want to be subjected to the practice. And we need to change that particular notion that the child is passive in his or her promotion and protection of their rights. I want to also talk about child marriage because child marriage is a problem that affects particularly girls in the Gambia, although boys are also subjected to child marriage. But this is a particular traditional harmful practice that is also putting children at risk of other violations of rights. So when a girl gets married before the age of 15, what is the likelihood that she's going to be able to continue her educational development? It's very unlikely that most girls who have been married before the age of 15 actually end up completing their primary cycle of education, let alone a secondary cycle of education. So the fundamental reason why traditional harmful practices are so dangerous is because they actually have a negative effect on the child's other rights, the right to protection, the right to be able to live in happiness, the right to be able to continue education, and in some particular cases, the right to good health and nutrition.
But you have done excellent work in creating a platform to have a greater partnership and participation of members of the civil society. That's a great plus. This day for me is not only to commemorate the Day of the African Child. For me, it's not just like a commemoration. It is a day of reflection. It's a day of stock-taking. It's a day of raising the voices of accountability to the state. It's a known fact that Gambia is not only a signatory, but Gambia as a state party to the AU has ratified the African Charter on the Right and Welfare of the Child since 2000. Thus, it has taken a commitment that it shall be obligated to fulfill, to protect and respect all fundamental rights of children as described in this regional legal instrument. So therefore, it's not by mistake to raise the voice of accountability on the state towards fulfilling its commitment in realization of the rights of children as inscribed in both the UNCRC and the African Charter. As we all know, this day was set aside to commemorate, to remember young children, innocent school children, who had taken the street just to portray, just to show their frustration as to the education system in South Africa. In Soweto in 1976, they were all, most of them were shot, and most shot to death, and most of them are men forever. It was important for the African Union, through the committee of experts, to set a day aside to commemorate and remember these great children of Africa. Thus, in 1991, they have created and put this day aside as a day of remembrance. Since 1991 to date, this day has been commemorated in different themes. This year, the theme is eliminating all harmful traditional practices affecting children. Progress on the policies and the practice from 2013. We will recall that 2013, sometime around 5th of November, at this 22nd extraordinary session of the AU, they have challenged themselves that we must able to eliminate all social, cultural, traditional practices affecting children. Therefore, our collective responsibility. And you have obviously indicated that during working around towards from 2030, whether we know it or not, it's the proof that you have organized an event that looked at our collective responsibility. Our collective responsibility in the sense that when you look at the table, when you look at those that you have invited, they come from different partners, they come from different organizations. So therefore, there's an assurance that that collective responsibility, we were working towards it, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The theme for this year, the theme itself is nothing more other than accountability statement. Accountability statement that it is reflecting, is asking the state, is asking all of us from 2013, after having taken the commitment to eliminate all forms of social, cultural, traditional, harmful practices that affect children, to date what has been done. So it's stock taking. So it's deeper than self-reflection. Yet as to how far we have gone. Gambia as a country, we have done some great strive towards creating the conducive environment, but also creating child protection mechanism through the institution of a specific ministry for children. We have a specific ministry for the Directorate for Children Affairs. We have social welfare. Yet in terms of policy, we have the National Child Protection Strategy, National Strategy for 2016 to 2020. Yet we have committed ourselves towards the domestication of the African Charter, thus giving birth to the Children Act 2005. These are great efforts that we must recognize. But the question is, how far has those resultants reflected to addressing the realities of children on the ground? We all know Gambia as a state party has taken the commitment towards the elimination, towards the banning of these fundamental two traditional harmful practices that we talk about. We talk about FGMC, female genital mutilation or cutting, which actually has been banned in the Gambia in 2015. Yet we have amended the Children Act, again this 2016, to ban child marriage. But those ban, the prohibition of those two practices, have they actually translated addressing the issue of subjecting children to FGM or subjecting them to child marriage? We all know these two practices, when you look at them, they don't only affect the educational career of a person, but they affect his normal growth as an individual towards the realization of her potential. So having to have this day aside is to see how best we are able to create from here on to raise that voice of accountability. Yes, we have good laws. Yes, we have good policies. yet the enforcement of it becomes a nightmare. Thus, we continuously have with our children, especially our grandchildren, been subjected to all these cruel social traditional practices that are harmful to their well-being.
Colleagues, of course, in the media, let me begin by congratulating all of us, us meaning members of the press, for this brilliant initiative, particularly the team that Vicente just presented to us here as those behind this brilliant initiative for a remarkable achievement. This is remarkable indeed because if you look at the timeline and what has been achieved, there is no doubt that within 2 years, if the media run challenge is able to achieve such a great made a great achievement such as what we're witnessing today here, kudos to them. So congratulations to the team. I would also like to congratulate the Gambian media in general for the unity, for uniting towards a common purpose. This is important in our role, or in the role of the media, as an oversight body, and also as those that people that are underprivileged are counting upon for issues that are affecting their lives. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about child phone and the reason why we are here. So child phone, of course, connects children to the people and the resources that they need in order to grow up healthy and secure in the case of children under 5 years, and also to ensure that children are educated and confident, adolescents and teenagers, and to ensure that youth, that young people, have the required skills to contribute towards the development of their communities and the country at large. And Child Fund have been doing this for nearly 4 decades. Now, how were we able to do this? Is as a result of the support of partners, which include, of course, the media. So whatever the media is involved, Child Fund have recognized the media as a key partner, and that is why we are here today.
To all of you together, I salute you with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I would want to begin by thanking the organizers, which is creating opportunity for the public to be enlightened on matters of the media, and more importantly, on the theme, protection for children, or stopping all harmful practices against children. I thank you because the Gambia is one entity, one people. And in order to understand each other, we must have the minimum ability of organizing fora like this, where matters of common interest will be discussed to serve as a way of information for the general public. The work of the media is paramount in a modern state because it is a functional prerequisite to society. That in order for society to work, the media as an institution, as a structure, must be provided and must do their work. I come here to represent the government, to inform in a practical way all the actors in the media that the state is aware of their work, that the state appreciates what they are doing to contribute to the development of the Gambia. And we recognize also that we are the providers of the enabling environment in which you are to operate. And to let you know that under the current dispensation of democracy being headed by President Adama Barrow, the media shall be given the enabling environment full time to operate, because that is a requirement for democracy to go on. The government does not have any intention by any way to provide any obstacles for the effective functioning of the media. In the light of this, I should have been accompanied by the Honorable Minister of Tourism, because very often the media is a conflict with the police, the security, to practically show that we want to advocate for a paradigm shift from the paradigm of confrontation to that of complementarity, and I'm happy that somebody earlier on had mentioned this, that we must be seen to be inseparable partners in the development of the Gambia, who must come together to lay the requisite foundation in theory and in practice so that the functionaries can work. From now on, I give you the assurance that the media advocacy on freedom shall be attained. I give you the good news that given the commitment of the newborn democracy in the Gambia, government has subjected itself into the enactment of a law called the Access to Information Act, which is very well conducive to media work. That from this month of May on, June, we shall carry on the full implementation of this law. Few areas of emphasis are also important to be mentioned in discussions like this. For example, we want to advocate for our Gambianness. We want to advocate for our Africanness. The citation that was given to Soweto when the children were massacred were done by the apartheid regime of South Africa. I wish we all remember that. Those were the bad systems that should serve as eye-openers to Africans, to let us understand that the rules of our game shall not be dictated to us. Let us understand that we come from a culture, a very rich culture. And whatever we are doing, we take the lens of that culture into perspective. Next to the culture in which we are born and nurtured, can be added the best practice of the times. We are not advocating to be islands, to be separated from all other entities. Rather, we are saying, let us give everything an African eye. Let us remember the good work of our Pan-Africanists who formed the African Union that led us into believing that this day should be declared. Time is gone now for ourselves to allow others to come and give us a particular worldview through which we should walk. We shouldn't allow that to happen. Remember that the government is giving the commitment to support you, because by supporting you, we are directly contributing to the fulfillment of the expectations of the social contract that government had been engaged in. Renewed on the 4th of December 2021, we know that President Adama Barrow was massively voted into power in expectation that the enabling climate will continue to be made better than it was, in expectation that life would grow from better to the best. In order to do this, there must be functionaries, as I said earlier. And anybody who is found in the system acting in any way for the betterment, for the achievement of these expectations is a help to government, directly or indirectly. I will again repeat, let us not perceive each other with the eye of confrontation. We are one people. Let us not perceive each other with a different understanding other than the betterment of this country. Let us understand that although the landmass is wide, but all efforts are directed to the betterment of the state. For this reason, I once again thank the organizers and hope that this will not only be continued, but it will be widened, it will be broadened for the inclusion of other actors. As somebody said, to add the number of children who would be participating in this. And in order to effect the positive change that we desire, let us remember that all of us come from families. If society was to be a factory where children are produced, it is from the family that they are produced. And at the level of the family, there is a lot that can be done. Your effectiveness will begin not from the streets. Your effectiveness in this crusade will begin not on the papers, but rather from the roots, and that is the family. Let us begin to consult members of our families with this desire of impacting a positive change towards the direction that this forum has set itself for. On this note, I thank you most sincerely and say I was late to come, but it was also a lateness that was so bad. Much as work is important, probably walking from Westfield to here is longer than going to any farm. Thank you very much.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Brother Kendall, had me solar lamp make it this look. I can't manila for a solar enterprise. Follow the Mungolian Yimbanko can get them to it.
Sumanu baro unjurunko ikonga faleko namu badabanta ila blazola la enie gambia bino gambia la sola enter na sola enterprise sola nimbati kendo kurao de dasala aboro sinenamo kagise na odila gambia la sola enter na sola enter na sola enterprise jaliwo sola kende soto jali man fo fenna o sola kende soto sola enterprise na enterprise Sumanu baro unjurunko